Yo guys, it's Haunted Lamb and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing a new team, a team that I kind of came up with on Tuesday of last week. So around rank 16, 15, similar time to where people probably rank 17. So quite up there in the leagues. And the team consists of a Skarmory, a Shiftry, and an Abomasnow. So this team is very similar to the double grass that Calab Peng came out with in the first few seasons. But I was not really a fan of the double grass because Meganium, as good as it actually is, it gets walled by Altaria as well as Skarmory. So I wanted to get a team around my Abomasnow because Abomasnow is one of my favorite Great League Pokemon, and it kind of naturally built a Shiftry into it because I wanted to kind of get the coverage of weaknesses that Abomasnow has into another Pokemon, so I could use these Shiftry as a safe switch to bait out my counters, and then the Skarmory could kind of farm them down. So onto the first game, I'm up against a Skarmory mirror match, and for some reason I picked the wrong Skarmory, and I'm playing a Skarmory that has Steel Wing against a regular Skarmory. So initially I was like, this is game over, but Steel Wing Skarmory did not too bad actually. It's not great at generating energy, but it's just as bad as it gets. So I was able to kind of win the mirror match and just about able to get a Sky Attack off as well. So I'm able to get this Galarian Stunfisk chunked a little bit of health, so it's in that range where once Shiftry comes in now, it can actually do a lot of farming. And the great thing about Shiftry in this team is, even though it's a really great safe switch, it baits out stuff like the fighters, the flyers, the lower Marowaks, and also it does really well against Galarian Stunfisk because it can build up to about 2 or 3 leaf blades, and it can take one comfortable rock slide, maybe 2 depending on how the situation is. So my Shiftry is ranked pretty high. It's ranked 2 in the Great League. It was a rank 1 previously before the XL Candy update, so it's a really good Shiftry and it's really bulky, or bulky as it gets. So as you can see here, I've done as much damage as possible to this Galarian Stunfisk, and it's in that range where I can just come in with my Abomasnow now and farm it down, because Abomasnow, if unchecked, can pretty much clear most backlines. So this team was built around the fact that so many people play the Azumarill and Galarian Stunfisk core. So the whole idea was to kind of get the counters for my Abomasnow out there with the safe swap with Shiftry, and then I can sweep in the back. So like I said before, this team is very similar to the Calab Peng team original flyer under the grass, but it kind of utilizes something a little different because there's been many occasions where I've kind of more or less got the advantage in the game and Altaria comes out, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Meganium, and I've never really used that line in my previous seasons. I did try it, but I never really liked the combination of Skarmory and Meganium. Shiftry is amazing, but it is quite squishy, but this run was amazing because I managed to do 25 games, so 22 wins and 3 losses. So again, this is my first time playing with this team as well, and playing as best as I could. So on to the next game where my Shiftry is up against Defense Deoxys, and switch immediately out into my Shiftry. Shiftry obviously will take damage from the counters, but it obviously will force the shields from this Deoxys because it can build up to Foul Flares really quickly. And that's all I need to do here is just build up the Foul Flares and just keep throwing them at them. And this, obviously, Shiftry does go down to the counters, but Defense Deoxys, as strong as it is, and it's pretty much everywhere in the meta, it's in that range now where I can actually just farm down a little bit with my Skarmory and throw a Brave Bird to whatever comes out. So I need to switch into my Abomasnow to kind of get ahead in energy, because Defense Deoxys is quite a staple core in, again, the Galarian Stunfisk team and an Azumarill team, and I can comfortably take a Rock Slide, so I took that Rock Slide. I've got 1 shield here, so the whole idea now is just shield the second Rock Slide and farm up to as much as possible before the next Rock Slide will come my way. So I throw the Energy Ball here. Energy Ball, it does neutral damage, but it is quite a hard-hitting move against Stunfisk, and it gets it into the range where I just need to Weather Ball it down. So I haven't tried Shadow Abomasnow or Shadow Shiftry, but I do believe they will be a little stronger and a little more less bulky as well. So like I said, Azumarill can't really do much against Abomasnow as well. Azumarill can build up to the Ice Beams, But here I'm counting the bubbles down and I get a great switch into my Skarmory on the Ice Beam. And another good thing I like about this team is because the conventional Meganium can only outlast one Ice Beam, and then the second one will take it out, whereas the Abomasnow can actually take 3 Ice Beams to take it out. So Abomasnow is relatively quite tanky if, you know, going up against the right Pokemon. So, onto a great win there again. On to the next game. So Skarmory up against another lead lost into the Galarian Stunfisk. So I do one normal wing attack and switch into the shiftry. The reason for that is because my opponent has already generated a little bit of energy and they're close to a rock slide, so they'll stay in, or opt to stay in more likely. My opponent does bring out the fighter, which is the Toxicroak, which is great in this perspective because my Abomasnow doesn't want to see it. And obviously I'm going to just do as much damage as I can with the Leaf Blades, and Skarmory now can fully farm down this Toxicroak. Even though Toxicroak will do neutral damage with the counters, and it's most of the charge moves aren't really that effective against Skarmory, so Skarmory can get loads and loads of energy now, and either have a Sky Attack or 2 Sky Attacks ready and a Brave Bird. So in the end, I do switch out just to kind of get my Abomasnow ahead on energy. That's something I always do. I just quickly swap into my Abomasnow, just kind of finish off a Pokemon, just because I want to kickstart my team. And again, like I said, most teams are running the Azumarill and the Galarian Stunfisk core, so the Abomasnow unchecked can clear them. And like I said, even though the rock slides are effective, super effective against the Abomasnow, it can tank one, and it still gives it enough health where it can more or less go up against an Azumarill too. So just building up to the energy ball now, and this should be enough to get it into farming range. And I've still got a shield, so this rock slide won't take me out, and I'll be able to get to a weather ball before my opponent gets to a rock slide. So Abomasnow is super spammy. My opponent does switch out, you know, wanting to preserve the health on the Galarian Stunfisk, but it's going to get an energy ball right to the face, and luckily I got defense drop as well. So I was counting the balls here, but I realized my Skarmory already had energy stored, and it could basically build up to a Sky Attack and take the Azumarill out. So now, because Galarian Stunfisk is in the red, it's going to try and build up to 2 rock slides to take my Skarmory out. One won't take it out, so I can build up to a Sky Attack and throw it as soon as possible. And it's in the range where 1 Sky Attack will actually take the Galarian Stunfisk out. One thing I hate about Skarmory is the charge move animation. Getting all the bubbles is such an annoying thing to do. I try my best to get them. So as you can probably see, I'm facing a lot of rank 10 players, and often probably my worst lead possible, or one of the worst, is a Defensive Ox, because it really does check most of my team. So I'm just here, I'm going to build up to the Brave Bird, and my opponent is going to throw a Thunder. I don't think because I want to save my shields for either the Abomasnow or the Shiftry, 1 or 2 shields. So here, I'm building just past it, and I'm going to throw a Brave Bird and dip into my Shiftry. My opponent does shield, so great shield on his part, save a lot of health there. But like I said, Shiftry is really good at generating energy, and if you can get 1 or 2 extra fast moves in, it's actually even better at building energy. So my opponent does switch his Defensive Ox out and brings out Galarian Stunfisk, but at this point my Shiftry has at least 2 to 3 Leaf Blades ready, and it can survive 1 rock slide as well. So my Shiftry's really going to put in some work right now. So you can tell Shiftry does at least about 1/3 of the health of Galarian Stunfisk, and you know, it just needs a little bit of time and a little bit of energy, and it can pretty much steamroll most teams. It's really good against even Skarmory. The Foul Play does quite good damage. The Foul Play also works really well against Lola Marowak, and during most, you know, because Shiftry is so attack weighted, the Foul Play does a lot of damage to most Pokemon. So my opponent does bring the Defense Deoxys back out, but I'm able to get to another Foul Play, but my opponent does reach a Rock Slide. So at this point, I'm happy for my opponent to take me out. He Psycho Boost me, so even better. So my opponent's attack actually fell down quite harshly, so my opponent has to swap out. But because of that, I was able to generate so much energy on my Abomasnow that now it can sweep the rest of the team. So as you can see, Energy Ball does at least 2/3 of the damage on Azumarill. And Azumarill, like I said, can either throw a Play Rough at me or Ice Beams, and Ice Beams only do about 35% of my health. So again, because I'm quite close to building up to a Sky Attack, my opponent is forced to throw his energy, so it kind of leaves my Abomasnow with even more health. And this Weather Ball should be enough to take it out. or leave it in a range where I can farm down. So yeah, that weather ball was more than enough, and this second weather ball will be able to take out the Galarian Stunfisk as well. Oh, sorry, my mistake. It was Defense Deoxys. So yeah, so another great win there. So that is on to the 5th game now. So again, very similar tactic. You do lose a lot of leads with this team, but the whole idea is shiftry is the so-called switch that kind of aligns you correctly. My opponent does switch out into Shadow Victreebel, and most Shadow Victreebels don't shield the leaf blades, so I tend to go for the foul play, and foul play pretty much gets it into the red, and obviously I can just farm down and have like at least 1.5 leaf blades ready. So because I'm so far ahead in energy, I'm going to shield my shiftry. Shiftry obviously will be able to get a shield from Galarian Stunfisk, and also get it into the place where my Abomasnow can farm it down as well. So shiftry is great at doing that. I do really want to try out Shadow Shiftry. I have built it just today, not with the best performance, but again, you have to learn a team, got to play them properly as well. So I'll commentate on the first few games, and I'll kind of leave the rest of the games to play in the background. This is like a 55-minute long video, so I can't be here talking 55 minutes, probably bore you guys to death. Yeah, my opponent does switch out into an Azumarill, and obviously Skarmory does really well against an Azumarill. Here I do throw the Brave Bird, but unfortunately the Azumarill is also throwing its energy, but I still have enough energy to kind of survive and get one extra bubble through. I bring my Shiftry back in now, and I can build up to a Leaf Blade quickly before Azumarill gets to a second charge move, and I'm able to take the Azumarill out as well. And now it's pretty much a race to defeating this Galarian Stunfisk. I've got one more shield as well. So another good thing about this team is that it's really good at getting your opponent's shields and also you keeping your shield advantage. And because I know this rock slide will take me out, I'm shielding base because I'm able to generate at least 2 leaf blades here to take out this Galarian Stunfisk. And that should be a good game. So just left with a little bit with health. I just thought I'd show my opponent my Abomasnow so he sees the team. So yeah, overall went 5-0 in the first set. Been able to get 5 rare candies straight on to level 16. So I am ranked 21 now. Not off to the best of starts. I got an overall rating of 2204. So not the best, but it is still pretty good. So on to this next game, off to a decent lead. The Scrafty will take some pressure damage from the flying moves. I'm taking neutral from the fighting type. So here it's just again just building up to the sky attacks. I did shield the first move, thinking it's going to be a foul play, and because I do feel like my opponent's also going to try and keep this Scrafty alive as much as possible because it wants to whittle down my Skarmory. So here it's in the foul play, I let it go through, but I am obviously built up to a sky attack, so I'm able to throw this, and hopefully this should KO unless it wants to do the second shield. No, perfect. So I left my Skarmory in a very small range, and I immediately switch into my Abomasnow into the Clefable. This obviously will keep my Skarmory as a sack swap, but also because Clefable is quite strong, but it can only do damage in Charm, and I'm able to bring my Abomasnow out, which isn't going to take the most damage from Charm, but it can build up to the Weather Balls really quickly. And my opponent's backline also has a Shadow Victreebel, which isn't great against Abomasnow, but it can still pretty much kill me with that much health left. So Victreebel does take me out, but like I said, I've still got a shift from the back, which is taking resistant damage from these Razor Leafs, and I'm able to build up to a foul play, and this should pretty much KO the Victreebel from here. So this team also surprisingly does well against the Grassol team as well, and I should have a gameplay here coming soon. Just playing that team. So Drifblim is a really solid lead against this team. My only real answer for this is my Shiftry, but even then the icy winds will hurt. So here I build up to a sky attack, and I let the first charge move go because obviously it's only an icy wind and it does debuff me, but this sky attack either will get a shield or it'll do enough damage to kind of get it into the yellow, and now I can bring in my Shiftry to kind of get that farm accelerated. My opponent does bring out a Scrafty, which is a great counter for my backline, but these Leaf Blades should force a shield or get the Scrafty into an area where my Skarmory can farm it down, and I'm able to get to a second Leaf Blade. So yeah, you can see the raw power the Shiftry has in generating energy, and 2 Leaf Blades get the Scrafty into the red. It's Power Punch isn't enough to take me out, but my opponent right now is powered up twice, and this Foul Play will hurt. So I do opt to shield this. It's only a Power Punch, but still a good shield because this next Wing Attack will take it out. And now I'm switching straight into my Abomasnow because I want to get ahead on energy. And because obviously my opponent brings Drifblim back, even if it debuffs me, I can switch into my Skarmory later on. So the whole idea is to farm up all this energy on the Drifblim, because Drifblim takes super effect damage from the Powder Snows. Powder Snow hurts a lot now. My opponent's backline has a Lantern, and Lantern is great against my Skarmory, but not so great against the Abomasnow. The energy balls would really hurt it. So this, I'm not even going to bait. I'm just going straight for the energy balls, building up to them, and just throwing them as fast as I can. So we're one shield each. Again, because Abomasnow is so good at building energy, I'm able to quickly get to this Weather Ball, and this should kind of get the timer long enough for me able to switch out into my own Skarmory, and this will force the Lantern to drop as much energy as possible as it can onto my Skarmory, and now being a shield ahead, I can just build up to the energy ball, and this should take it out. So Lantern is really good. It has a really great energy move, fast move, but it does still take time because most of the moves, charge moves, are really heavy hitting. So great win there again. On to my next opponent. So Skarmory into Cresselia is a really strong lead because obviously Grass Knot won't do a lot of damage, and also the Moonblast won't do a lot of damage as well. So this is off to a good start. So Moonblast, yep. So I don't get debuffed. My opponent switches out into this Galarian Stunfisk, and I immediately switch into, well, as fast as I could, into my own Shiftry. And like I said, Shiftry can take a Rock Slide quite comfortably. And right now I'm just building up as much as energy as possible, trying to force an extra fast move through, and going to shield this Rock Slide. And now I've got almost 3 Leaf Blades ready to throw at my opponent. So yep, I get the first shoot from my opponent as well, which is great. And now for the next one, so I've got more or less 2 to 3 Leaf Blades built, and sorry, 2. And this one here, I am contemplating shielding, and I do. Reason being is because my Shiftry can also do work against the Cresselia as well. So my opponent switches out into an Altaria. Really good counter for Shiftry. But this is one of the reasons why I do keep Abomasnow, because Abomasnow is really strong against the hidden Altarias in the back. Altaria isn't as prevalent as it used to be, but it's still out there, and it can really wreak havoc on teams that aren't ready for it. And that's one of the reasons why Abomasnow is so good, because Altaria is useless against it. I mean, Sky Attack does hurt, as you can see there, but I'm able to get to the Weather Balls really quickly and take out this Altaria. So now it's pretty much the Cresselia left, and my opponent's Galarian Stunfisk. So Skarmory has quite a bit of work to do, and this G-Fisk obviously is dumping all its energy as well, which is pretty good. And because my Skarmory already had quite a lot of energy built from the start, I'm able to Sky Attack this for the KO. Which is great, and now I'm left with this Cresselia. Like I said, Cresselia has pretty much 0 play against Skarmory. I mean, it still can dish out damage in the Moonblast. Moonblasts do hurt a little bit, but it's because it needs to at least throw like 3 or 4 before it gets me to the red, and I can build up to Sky Attacks quickly. That should be pretty easy. And here I'm just building up to the Brave Bird, because I think from this range, Brave Bird is enough to KO the Cresselia. So I'm really liking the performance of this team. I think overall, playing this team, I went about, I think, 70 to 80% win rate. So these first 5 sets were great because I was able to kind of play the team really effectively, kind of play it as the best I could actually, going 22-3. And then, you know, as I went up and the meta kind of shifted a little bit, the team did like a lot of 3-2s, some 4-1s. I'm really good at getting 4-1s actually, and sometimes, and very rarely, it would get 2 wins and 3 losses. So the team overall is really strong. Obviously there was 2 double fighters, because that team pretty much is built around, not built around taking the team out, but it's built around kind of also built around Galarian Stunfisk. We're trying to counter that team, and Toxic Croak and Scrafty are really like bad Pokemon for me to see really late into the game. So here I'm just bringing in my Abomasnow, and Abomasnow is really strong against the Mandibuzz. So Mandibuzz can only throw an Aerialist. Aerialist isn't the best charge move in the world, it's quite shit to be honest. So I do shield the first one because I do want my Abomasnow to be quite healthy, because I do want to take one Rock Slide and no more damage after that. So because my opponent is ahead on shields, this game becomes a lot harder to win. So all I can do now is kind of pressure the shields with Weather Balls, and Weather Balls do start adding up. It is a really strong move, and I think the Shadow variant of Abomasnow probably hurts a lot more. So here I switch into my Skarmory to catch the Rock Slide, and Skarmory is pretty decent against G-Fisk. I mean, most of my moves don't do a lot of damage, but also Skarmory doesn't take too much damage from the Rock Slides. And also this team kind of renders my opponent's G-Fisk Earthquake pretty useless. So my opponent does switch out into an Azumarill, and because I've got two Sky attacks ready, I throw the first one, and the second one I do throw a Brave Bird. So a little ballsy of me to throw the Brave Bird there. My opponent shields this, it's really going to hurt, but it's because my opponent, I think, suspects just a normal Sky attack, I'm able to basically do a simultaneous KO. So now it's pretty much a race to the charge move. So my opponent does get to the Rock Slide, and I have to get to two Weather Balls. So like I said, Abomasnow is really good at generating the Weather Balls quickly, and I think my opponent is really close to getting a Rock Slide here. So thankfully I had two built up and I can throw one back to back. So that was a really close game, but thankfully this team managed to get the W in the end. So great win there, great game to my opponent. On to the next game, and Skarmory up against a Hypno. So Hypno typically is a decent lead for my team, but Shadow Hypno obviously does a lot more damage, and my Hypno was able to farm quite a bit of energy, and Mandibuzz does really well against Shiftry, because Shiftry can only throw Foul Plays at it, and because Mandibuzz is so tanky, the Foul Plays don't do a lot of damage. And obviously Mandibuzz does also have the Aerialist throughout me. So all I need to do right now is just kind of build up to the Foul Plays and just throw as many as possible, because I want to get the Mandibuzz as low as I can. So off to a pretty solid game right now. So I'm able to get one fast move through, but because I realised Swiftry is useless against his Mandibuzz, I'm letting it go down. And now bring in my Abomasnow, and that health you can see on Mandibuzz is pretty much in that farming range where I want to take it out. So my opponent for some reason decides to use Foul Play. I think Foul Play is slightly more harder hitting than the Aerialist. So here I try to catch a move on my Skarmory, because I also want to get my Skarmory loaded with energy against this Hypno. And Hypno, like I said, it carries Thunder Punch, and the Shadow variant of Hypno actually hurts a lot more. And this one's just through a Fire Punch, which hurts quite a bit. So this game is pretty much save my shields for my Abomasnow and see, hope for the best. So I'm not shielding anything, and I do get taken out by this Hypno, and Hypno has quite a lot of energy. So as soon as I come in with my Abomasnow, I'm throwing this Weather Ball, and Shadow Hypno is in that range where Weather Ball will take it out. So the whole idea is just keep throwing Weather Balls, and thankfully I'm able to get to my Weather Balls a lot quicker than he is able to get to his Fire Punches. Hypno is a great Pokemon, I just hate the fast move animation it has. It's such a long wind up, and thankfully because of it I'm able to take it out. So now this Abomasnow has to do a lot of work with that one shield, and it's looking pretty much impossible from here. And I think this is the game where I lose. So in the second round I go for one. And I think I already realised the situation. My opponent does a really good sack swap on the Mandibuzz, and yeah, that was that sealed the game even further. So if my opponent switched there and I didn't throw my energy, I would have been able to farm the Mandibuzz even further, and then throw two energy balls. So great game to my opponent, well played. So yep, on that set I went 4-1. And slowly making my way into rank 17. So yeah, so these games were played on the Tuesday of last week, so pretty much right around the time where most players were either on rank 17, 18, and this was only the games I could actually get and record. Because of such long gameplay, I didn't really get time to get this video sorted out earlier, so I had time today, so I thought this is the last day of Great League, and what better time to kind of showcase my team, or my more successful team of the season with this team. So on to this game here. So Skarmory putting in some work against Shiftry putting in some work against Skarmory. Like I said, Shiftry can get shields off Skarmory, and this video again will highlight how great Skarmory is as well. And if you really like seeing Brave Birds by Skarmory, then this is one of those videos where you'll actually enjoy it. So yeah, I'm able to build up more ranges. So here, I'm just letting my opponent throw Sky Attacks. Even if he throws a Brave Bird, it's fine. But my opponent is just going to throw Sky Attacks. So the idea against a mirror match or playing against opposing Skarmory is you want to kind of sneak in a fast move whenever they throw the charge move, and then throw your charge move when they throw a charge move. So I'm able to do a quick swap there, able to take out the Skarmory and have a little bit of energy going in. And my opponent brings out a Mew. Mew is fairly strong. It probably has Flame Charge and Volt Switch. Volt Switch, obviously, not Volt Switch. It's the charge move. What's it called? The harder hitting electric move. I always forget the name of that one. And here, like I said, I'm just building up to the Weather Balls, and the Mew could have shielded here, but he would realize that he was in that range where he would have got farmed anyway. So my opponent has a shield, and in the back is a Shiftry. So in the end, this should be quite easy, because all I need to do is get one Weather Ball through. My opponent has to throw the Foul Play, and I don't think the Foul Play will kill me. And I do also have the Skarmory in the back as well to kind of check this Shiftry. So yep, take the Foul Play quite nicely, and I already have a Sky Attack as well, and this should KO the Shiftry. So great game to my opponent. On to the next game against the Earth Power. So this is quite a long video, and we're up against Pelipper lead. Pelipper, wing attacks do hurt against the rest of my backline, but because I want to force this Pelipper to either switch or kind of like Pelipper can only throw like water Weather Balls, so the water charge moves won't really hurt that much. So my opponent does switch out into his own Skarmory, and here the tactic is just build up to Weather Balls and throw Weather Balls constantly. Skarmory won't shield the first one normally. They tend to shield the second one because they don't want to get too low, or the third one, and because the Skarmory wants to fully farm me down, I'm able to get the third Weather Ball off as well. So really able to pressure the Skarmory. So now I am a shield ahead, and my Skarmory coming now to absorb all the energy the Skarmory has and farm it down. So this should put me in a great range to get my Skarmory fully loaded with energy, and also be able to take out the rest of the opponent's team. So my opponent goes for a Brave Bird, which is fine because my Skarmory can tank it, and it drops his own attack. So now I bring in my Shiftry onto the Galarian Stunfisk, and my opponent switches out into a Pelipper. Pelipper will take super effect damage, neutral damage from this Leaf Blade, but Pelipper is quite squishy, so all I need to do is just shield this. Even if it is a Weather Ball, it will do a little bit of damage to my Shiftry, and I don't want my Shiftry to kind of go down too low, because I need to utilize it against the Galarian Stunfisk and also be able to kind of tank a Rock Slide if it needs to. So right now it's pretty much a race to the Leaf Blades. So my opponent does throw the Rock Slide. So now I need to build up to at least 2 Leaf Blades and get them off. I don't think I'll get enough energy to get to a third, but 2 should get it into the range where my Skarmory can just come in and hopefully Brave Bird it in the face, which again is so satisfying. Seeing Stunfisk and Azumarill everywhere, it's just so good to see him go down to Skarmory, Shiftry, and Abomasnow. So this team is really good at kind of, taking out the conventional teams of the Galarian and Stunfisk core. So I'm going to show the rest of the set, and I'll leave the last 2 sets for you guys to watch without me talking over, because I'm already getting to that point where I've been talking for ages and I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say, but it's just a long video, and most of the games are either with a lead lost or I get a good strong lead and I'm able to win the game from there. So overall sets: the first set I went 5-0. Second set I went 4-1. Third set I went 4-1 again. So this set I went 4-1, and the fourth set I go for another 5-0, and my final set I go for another 4-1. So overall 22-3 with this team. Really strong team. I am going to try out Shadow Shiftry and a Shadow Abomasnow Not the best IVs, but I'm going to try out because I do think the extra damage from the shadow movers will do quite a lot and get get some more shields, get some good pressure on the teams, and hopefully when Great League comes back around in a few weeks, this team is ready to kind of do the damage when it comes back. So overall, this team performed really, really well. I really enjoyed using it, and it did everything that I wanted it to do. And I was actually surprised because I've never really liked the double grass teams. Although they are really strong, you know, Calab Peng is a really good team builder. He knows how to build them. I think I found out later on to the end of the season where, well, recently Calab Peng's been using Azumarill with shiftry, shadow shiftry, and what is it called? Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn is really good, and the reason again I like Abomasnow is because Abomasnow can deal with the Ferrothorn. Not great against the little Marowak, but it can deal with the Ferrothorn unless, you know, it's got Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon can do a lot of damage. So here, I'm just beating down this Galarian Stunfisk with the Wing Attack, and it throws a charge attack. And now all I need to do is shield this because I think it's going to be a close combat. It isn't just Night Flash, and I'm able to fully commit to the farm down. I throw the charge move instead. I don't want my own Skarmory to get really low. Because I built up to 2 Sky Attacks, I'm able to throw one back to back, and this will definitely KO the Surfetched. Surfetched, man, it's such a great Pokemon, but I hate to see it against my team. It really does hurt my backline really, really well, and also the counters do hurt my Skarmory as well. So it's one of those where it's a love and hate relationship. That dorky little, Surfetched with his leak can do a lot of damage. So onto a pretty decent lead here against Shiftry. Shiftry will throw a foul play at me. It does do quite a lot of damage, but the whole idea is when I just build up to the Sky Attack, force a shield, get ahead on shields, and now I just need to basically shield once and I'll have a lot of energy. But because of that, I decided to shield once on my Abomasnow and get all this extra energy on my Abomasnow instead. And my opponent I do give up lead there, and that's really my mistake. But because I'm able to get my energy generation started quickly, I'm able to build up to this energy ball, and now the Galarian Stunfisk is in the yellow where I can take it out with another energy ball. I take the first Rock Slide because I know I can take it. My opponent realizes that it hasn't enough power generation to kind of take the rest of the team out. My opponent probably weaken the back to Abomasnow. So this is a game that I lose because you don't see many Jirachis around, and I really severely underestimated the damage potential of this Jirachi. So the Jirachi obviously has Doom Desire, which, you know, is a great move. I just didn't realize it's going to do so much on Shiftry. I should have realized it would, because Shiftry is squishy as hell, and it does take out a lot of health from my Shiftry. And another great counter for this team is an Obstagoon. So my opponent has 2 great Pokemon counters for this line. Obstagoon really hurts my team. I mean, I think I've seen it only once or twice in the lead after these sets, and my opponent just shields the first Sky Attack. It really puts me in trouble because it can get to the Night Slashes really quickly, and obviously if it gets a boost, it can do a lot of damage. So now I'm just trying to get this Obstagoon off the field because my only win condition is to essentially bring my Abomasnow where I can just do as much damage as possible. And Jirachi, you know, will take quite a decent amount of damage from Powder Snow, but it can those confusions hurt a lot. It's such a strong move, Confusion. And I think Jirachi was able to get so much farm off my Skarmory and my Abomasnow that even though I've got 2 shields, I'm a shield ahead. It won't be enough. So here I do farm this Azumarill down as much as possible. I'm counting the bubbles, throwing this Weather Ball, thinking it should be enough to take it out, but it's not. Then I have to throw on the second one. So ideally, I think in this situation, I should have just thrown the energy ball. It would have been more energy efficient and would have taken out the Azumarill. I would have had a bit more energy going in against this Jirachi. So yeah, Weather Ball isn't going to do a lot of damage. I do bring in my Skarmory because I do want to build up to a Sky Attack. Sky Attack will do a little bit of damage against Jirachi. Jirachi isn't the most tankiest of Pokemon. It is a Steel type, but it isn't the most tankiest. So here I'm just building as much damage as I can and throwing the charge move at the last second. My opponent does shield it, but he's able to get so much energy from that. And even though my Abomasnow has a weather ball ready or close to 100 ready, he's got a back-to-back Doom Desire, and this will KO, and that was a great game to my opponents. Well played there. Really outplayed me. I tried everything, but it was one of those games. So yeah guys, thank you for watching my games. It is a long video. Went for one there. Enjoy the rest of it, and let me know if I can change anything. So this is obviously my take on the grass, double grass in the back 2.0. So yeah, cheers guys. Thank you. soon.